So I've decided that I want to make YouTube videos on me building my Tacoma because it has a lot of issues, and I just like to document the whole progression of it and how everything goes. So I figured I should tell you about the truck first. This is my 1998 Tacoma Extra Cab, 5-speed manual, 3.4-liter V6. It is supercharged, and it definitely has its issues. This is my daily driver, and I want to get it fixed up so it can become, hopefully, reliable. And there is more wrong with the truck. Like, my alternator went out, and I had to replace that. My battery died on the way home from work. And then, of course, there's a tailgate rust, but I don't think I'm going to fix that. I don't have any plans to, at least. And then there's probably a lot of undiagnosed issues. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing first is replacing the tailgate latches? Not latches. As you can see, there is one on this side. It's just very damaged. And then there isn't one on this side. Technically there is, but no, it's not even down here. Okay, so to take it off, it just requires a screwdriver. And that's it. So I'm gonna get that done real fast. Alright, so I have those new ones on now. And with these pieces, they go in here. I thought I ordered a different piece, but it's probably like $1 or something. It's whatever. Okay, so now that I got this off, you just take this piece out. And there's the old one. So you want to, oh wait, place this piece over and put it back. Okay, so I actually ordered the wrong part. You can see there's this little bump right here. And when you put the tailgate up, it just goes like that. But this is the same as this one. When you put it here and tighten it down, this little bump hits this part of the metal and won't let the actual cable fold in. I just took all this stuff out and I flipped it. So now that bump is outwards and this is out like it's supposed to be. So before I do anything else to the truck, I had to slide my rack and pinion clamp on, but I couldn't get it on, so I took it off and it's really damaged. If you couldn't tell, I tried to get it on a lot, but later in the video it gets fixed by a mechanic. So I'm gonna try to grease the inside of this clamp to see if I can get it on easier, because it is extremely tight. Did say it was tighter than factory, and yes it is. It's so difficult to get on, so hopefully that helps. So I'm under the truck now, and I see that I was scraping some of this bushing off. I got the other ones in, but this one, which seems like it should be the easiest, is the most difficult. Okay, so since this little sheared off flap is stopping me from getting it in, I'm gonna try to cut it with these scissors right here and see if that helps. Okay, so I got it slid over. It was super easy to slide it over after I put grease on it, and I got rid of that little sheared off piece. I actually heated it up with a torch and I pressed it back up to the top. I did get a little drippage on me and it really burns, but the good thing is I got it up. Okay, so I have the truck back on the ground and I'm gonna torque this one to spec, but honestly I lost this bolt and I can barely get it in all the way. There's only a little gap, but I'm sure it's fine. So I'm just gonna torque this to spec then I think I'm gonna call it good. Unless I find that bolt. Okay, now that I have the truck set back on the ground, we can start working on all this. So one thing I do have to fix about this truck is the sun visor retainer. So you can see that little piece right there is snapped. And on this one, there's a little clip in it. So it looks like it's just held in by these clips and the screw down here, which you could see at the bottom right there. Oh. The screw came out insanely easily, and then just leaves it looking like this up there. That's it. Okay, so now the sun visor should just... Okay, so now I'm gonna be putting on these front sway bar link assemblies, because one of mine snapped and the other one is severely damaged. So the sway bar assembly looks like this complete, and I ordered 2 of these rubber things, and I thought they came in a 2-pack, so there's not any for this one, and I'm gonna have to use the stock ones, which are terrible condition, but I'll just order some more at another time. So this is not the side that has the snapped assembly, but we're still gonna replace most of it with brand new stuff. So here's the new versus old sway bar link assemblies. This rubber is cut open, exposing the ball. This one isn't. Look at the condition on this rubber versus this. I just took the wheel off the driver's side, and so I was telling you, there is no link assembly here, so we gotta replace that. All right, so it's a completely different day, and I'm gonna be installing my new housing for the cracked one. I'm just scared that it will look different, because that one's old and faded, and that one's brand new. So this is the easiest install I've ever done. This is the old one, and you just put this in and twist it so it locks in. And I didn't have to unscrew this top one here. I'm not sure why. It just kind of popped out when I unscrewed the bottom one. Here's the 2 side by side, and as you can tell, this one's much brighter. This one's cracked and faded. It is official Toyota. All right, so here's the truck after the installation. Can't really tell a difference because it was only the little top corner that was cracked. And from far away, they don't look very faded. This one's faded. This one's not. Up close you can tell, but usually you can't. I didn't record this part, but in the middle of all this, I got 1 1/4-inch Spider Track spacers, and this is how it sits now. So the truck has always had this issue, but when you turn the car on, the blinker just makes the blinking sound really fast, but doesn't actually activate any of the blinkers. So it looks like there's these 4 screws that you take out just to remove the lens, and then me and my brother, we tested if my brake lights worked. So it is really dirty behind the lenses, and I'm guessing that's because of all the dirt and dust has gotten through the crack of the corner of the lens, and then I just popped my lights out and put new ones in. While I was at it, I obviously cleaned the entire inside that was dirty. This is one of the only flaws that I see besides the crack in the lenses, and that's just the rubber seal around it. So I got everything back in place, but the right lens only has 2 screws, which is weird. Then we made sure my corner lights worked, and they did. Then I'm not sure if these are supposed to blink when you put on your turn signal. I think they are, but mine were, I think, burnt out, and they weren't blinking. So I just picked up more bulbs from Advanced Auto Parts to maybe stop the ticking on this. I'm pretty sure it was my side marker lights, because whatever I did, I could not get those to light up. So hopefully those are the ones. So the ends of these bulbs look really burnt, which to me is a good thing, because hopefully these were the ones that were burnt out and created that ticking, so I put new ones in. But for these bulbs, I asked for reverse lights right here, but I got these same lights that I did yesterday. So I need to go and get some reverse lights because they have a different connector. So here's the truck right now. I put the new ones in, and I don't think my reverse lights were out, but I couldn't really see because I couldn't start the car, and I think you have to start the car to see them and going in reverse. I don't know. But hopefully those were the ones that were burnt out, and hopefully the ticking stops. No. So since I replaced those bulbs, I turned my lights on, and they didn't light up before, so they were burnt out. But now they do light up, along with my headlights, of course. But the other ones were burnt out. But that wasn't the fix, apparently. It might be my reverse lights. I don't know. So since my blinker's still ticking, I'm wondering if it's this top light. I don't know if that makes it blink, but I know this light is burnt out. So I think I'm gonna try replacing that. So I just got back from multiple auto parts stores to get these two, but I got the overhead lights and the reverse lights, and we're gonna put the Tacoma together and make it not look like it came from a junkyard, and hopefully the blinking stops. This is footage of me when I replaced my alternator. I held my belt tensioner back with some zip ties so I could get the belts around easier. So it's been a couple days and my blinker still ticks after putting the roof light in. It only sometimes works. Yeah. I haven't had the truck for a few days because we dropped it off and wrong side. We got my brake lines done. Where'd it go? Where is it? Oh. Right there. So I just got a couple things in from Toyota, which are some taillight screws, my rack and pinion seal, alternator adjustment, a flasher that will hopefully officially stop the ticking, rack and pinion dust cover for the valve assembly, and then just a gasket for the taillight. And I got this, can't even see it. I got this because I lost it, but while I was cleaning my room, I found it, so I actually don't need it. So I just replaced the gasket on this side. I've had trouble getting that in, which is weird because I usually don't. And I had to reuse the gasket on this side because apparently that side never had a gasket. Or not never, but didn't. Probably because this broke off and the gasket just, maybe the previous owner took it out, I don't know. But I was gonna put the new gasket in here and then realized that one didn't have one, so I put it in there and reused the old one on this. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference between the new and old hardware. It's not, I mean, it doesn't really matter, it's not that big, but you know. And then that came out of that hole. I can't get this properly seated like I could before, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just dirt will get in it and dust, but that happened before, so it's fine. After screwing this whole side in, I realized again, I forgot to put that in, so I gotta screw it off and put it back on, which is just annoying. I watched a video on how to replace my flasher relay, and we just unscrew these 5 things, and this whole panel drops, and then we just slide it out and kind of replace it. So I just dropped this with, you know, how I said I was going to, and the flasher relay should be somewhere in here. I'll find it in a second, but first I'm gonna clean this. This is disgusting. This is what the new OEM flasher looks like, and I'm pretty sure that green thing is the old one. And seeing how this is mounted, I'm just supposed to slide that old one forward, and then it should be out and I should replace it. Okay, so I was wrong. The tutorial that I watched, was on a different car, and I thought that was the thing, even though it was the wrong color and wrong brand, even though this one's OEM. I have to remove some bolts to get my fuse box out, and then it's just behind there and I can replace it. Okay, so I went to a forum and it said just reach around and pull it out. It took a little bit, less than 5 minutes actually, and I pulled it out. So this is a while later, but after I got the flash relay installed and that put back on, it still kind of blinks. It just blinks at a normal pace instead of 2 times faster. And then that's about it actually. So like I said earlier in the video, the shop I took the truck to get its brake lines done, flipped that rack and pinion clamp upside down. And there are big things like coming for this truck in the future, but it's gonna be a while. I promise you next video will be more exciting, but that's gonna be in a long time.